Have you ever wondered why people succeed ahead of others despite having the same background in education, having the same skills, or doing exactly the same type of business? Have you ever wondered why some people are more receptive when it comes to relationships with the opposite gender more than others, despite having the exact or even better physical characteristics? Today, we are talking about how to make it impossible for people to turn you down, whether it's in business, job opportunities, or even relationships. What I'm about to share with you works in different aspects of life, be it work, business, relationships, and it is one of the reasons why others succeed where you fail. You may have the best skills, you you may have the best skills, yet people ignore you when it comes to hiring you in your job role. You may have a wonderful business, yet you are unable to attract customers. You may be the best, you may have the best personality and looks, but the opposite gender keeps turning down your advances. It all boils down to this one thing, which I will tell you about now. There are two broad categories of people. The first category of people are those that believe in potential. This is where you find the vast majority of people. Potential refers to unrealized capacity or possibility, something that has the power to develop, become real, or act in the future. The real problem with potential is that it is not real. It is something which you believe about the future, which may or may not become a reality. It is something you have in your head that you cannot do but has never been tested. This is because everything you tell yourself about a future outcome, you made it up. They are not real. Most people present just potential in business opportunities, job interviews, and relationship quests. Then wonder why they are hardly successful. Unfortunately, this sets them up for failure and puts their contemporaries ahead of them. The good news is that there is something which you can have that can act as a collateral for you in all the circumstances which I have mentioned and would naturally put you ahead of your competitors. It is a game changer for everyone, and the level of your success in life to a very large extent depends on this. It is called a track record. This is where you find the second category of people, and only few people operate at this level. In this video, I will tell you what a track record is, how to build your track record, and why it matters to have a track record. Track records will always beat potential every day, twice on Sundays, and 3 times on bank and public holidays. Simply put, a track record is your documented history of past performance, which can be used to predict how you can perform in the future. You have to see it as your personal recipe for success and your personal collateral when you have no assets. Imagine you go to a bank for a business loan and the bank asks for an asset as collateral. You may not have any assets to guarantee the bank for a loan. However, when you show an investor or a venture capitalist a documented proof of prior success in the same business which the bank has failed to give you a loan on, the venture capitalist or investor will most likely put their money into your business. Think of it as the difference between someone saying, "I am good at sales," and someone showing you a sales journal with a record of sales made which exceeds the sales targets for a particular period. Most employers understand that potential is a myth, so you will be the least considered candidate for the job role if all you present in your CVs is I can do this, I can do that, I can do this without any proof. However, if you can show an employer proof that you have done similar things in the past and produced magnificent results, the employer will hire you without thinking twice. A customer may not take you seriously in your business if you cannot prove to him or her that the products which you sell are also wanted by other people, aside the customer. This is why there are review sections in all e-commerce platforms where customers write reviews on products bought. This serves as a social proof for other customers to rely upon and buy the same product. Finding business partners would be a Herculean task for you if you cannot prove that your business is profitable or have a track record of previous success. Your first date will likely ignore you upon your request on a second date if he or she is not convinced that you have something purposeful or significant to bring on the table. Imagine going on your first date and all you get from your date are promises for a future for a beautiful future without any single proof of anything beautiful in the past. People always say women are good at sniffing out men with great future potential and will stick with the man until he eventually metamorphosizes into his successful era. But what most people do not realize is that what women actually sniff out is track records and not potential. Women will indulge you in invasive questions not because they find you attractive or because you match their statistics. They ask you those questions just to scrutinize your track records. Unfortunately, many people still fall for these empty promises because they do not know there is something called a track record. Many developed countries have a domestic violence register, and individuals can ask the police if their partner or potential partner has a history of domestic abuse. That's an evidence of track record. Do not marry empty potentials because tomorrow may never come. Ask for track records. How to build a track record? Building a track record is essential. Building a track record is essentially the process of turning "I can do this" into "I have done this." It is about accumulating evidence on your reliability, skills, and impact over time. The first way to build your track record is one, to start small. You don't need a massive win to begin, you just need a documented win. You cannot get to the mountaintop without first reaching the valley. Most people are eager to start perfect, while all they really need is just to start showing up. Number two, document your journey. Keep a work diary and spend a few minutes to an hour once every week writing down what you finished, the problem you solved, any positive feedback or thank you emails you received, what went well for you in your relationship with your partner, what business hacks you discovered. The faintest ink is better than the sharpest memory. Memories fade, and when it's time for a performance review or a job interview, you forget 80% of what you actually achieved. So it is important you document your journey. Save the evidence by keeping a folder of screenshots, data reports, or PDFs that validate your competence. Number three, quantify your results. It is not enough just writing down your achievements. You have to attach a number to your results. A track record of doing things is good. A track record of getting results is elite. Whenever possible, attach a number to your work. It is inefficient to say, "I managed the social media account." Track record will say, "I grew the social media following by 20% and increased engagement by 15% over 6 months. The formula to quantify your result is, "I did X as measured by Y by doing Z." Number four, prioritize consistency over intensity. A track record is built on the average of your performance, not just your best day. Showing up on time and meeting deadlines 100 times in a row is a track record in itself. It proves you are highly dependable and you are low risk. A consistent drop of water will eventually form an ocean. It is better to have 3 years of steady incremental growth than 1 month of viral success followed by a year of silence. Consistency beats talent every day, twice on Sundays, and 3 times on bank and public holidays. Remember, the goal is to stay successful, not to look successful. Number 5, get external validation. A track record is what others say about you when you are not in the room. Get a social proof. For example, ask for LinkedIn recommendations or formal testimonials immediately after a successful project while the positive feelings are fresh. Request official credentials like certificates, which would act as a pre-verified track record of your knowledge in a specific subject. Get feedbacks on your work progress by asking your employer to appraise you annually and give you a copy of the appraisal sheet. This measures your progress and demonstrates your goals. I will summarize by telling you why track record matters. Track record matters because a track record is the ultimate antidote to uncertainty. It establishes credibility by proving that your previous success wasn't a fluke or a one-time lucky break. Imagine you are hiring a chef for a wedding party and you come across 2 CVs. One says, "I can cook this, and this." The other says, "I have cooked for Mr. A, Mrs. B, Mr. C, Mrs. D, with photo and video evidence." Who would you go for? It reduces risk when you have a choice to make. be it a contractor, a doctor, a business partner, or relationship partner. You look at their track records to ensure you aren't the guinea pig for a first-time mistake. If you had a chance to invest in someone's business, would you risk your money on someone who says, I can run this business, or someone who gives you a blueprint of success in prior business? It defines expectations by providing a baseline which you can be relied upon. For any relationship you go into, there are minimum expectations which you have set for yourself. Will you choose someone who tells you that he or she has the potential to meet these expectations, or will you choose someone that demonstrates undeniable track record proof that he or she meets these expectations? In summary, I said a track record is your documented history of past performance, which can be used to predict how you can perform in the future. I also mentioned that there are 5 ways you can build your track record, which are: 1. Start small. 2. Document your history. Document your journey. 3. Quantify your results. 4. Prioritize consistency over intensity. 5. Get external validation. I also told you why your track record matters, and it is because of: 1. It establishes your credibility. It reduces your risk. It defines your expectations. The key to unlocking that success you are looking out for lies definitely in your track record and not your potentials. People no longer rely on empty potential because they know that tomorrow may never come. I hope this makes you better today than you were yesterday. Stay focused and see you next time.